$5,000, not bad for a week's work. Did you ever knock?
Does the name Beverly Randolph sound familiar?
What if it does?
I am not in the mood for playing games, Vanessa.
Neither am I. Why are you asking me about Beverly?
She's dead.
Beverly Randolph is dead?
Yes.
What a shame.
What are you talking about? Next assignment. You just fired me, remember?
Stacy, let me explain.
Explain? What possible explanation can you give?
Stacy, would you just listen to him?
Why should I?
Stacy, I fired you in front of everybody for a reason, and it has nothing to do with your quality of your work.
You told me I botched the article on Wainwright. Have you changed your mind?
Look, it was all part of a plan. I want you to do some investigative work for me.
What?
Come on, Stacy, just hear him out.
Why?
I want you to take over Jean's investigation of Domi.
Okay, now I'm going to punch that little button. Ooh! Are you still working at that? I'm just trying to get the feel of it. Hey, did you see that? It told me to kiss its foot. I definitely haven't got the hang of it yet.
Well, fortunately, Ione does. I just hope we have enough time to work on the relocation without shortchanging our patients.
Oh, you know we'll put in extra time if we have to.
Oh, don't worry, Dr. Phillips. It'll take time to get things going, but once we get it set up, everything is going to be just fine. Excuse me.
Hello, I'm Judge Timothy Sawyer.
How do you do?
Judge Sawyer, this is a surprise?
I'm sure it is, Dr. Phillips. I was wondering if you could take some time out of your busy schedule for me. A few matters I'd like to discuss with you.
Well, I think I could spare a few seconds.
That's our cue to exit.
I think you're right.
Have no fear. We'll hold down the fort for you.
Thanks, Lucille.
Ladies.
Does this have something to do with the annulment case?
No, as a matter of fact, that's all been settled.
Oh, and what did you decide?
Well, I denied the annulment. It was not an easy decision, I can assure you.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't. Well, maybe now Vaughn and Courtney will try to give themselves a second chance and work out all their problems.
I think you're being a bit too optimistic there, Dr. Phillips.
Well, I hope for Vaughn's sake that Courtney will at least consider a reconciliation.
I'm sure she's considering a great number of things, but I doubt that reuniting with her husband is one of them. Dave, the reason I came by was because of the proven interest you have shown not only in the people of Chesterfield, but the whole city of Kingsley.
Oh, you've heard that I've taken over the chairmanship of the CTE Relocation Committee.
Yes, and that sounds good, but I really came by to ask if you've ever considered entering the political arena.
Politics? Me?
Yes, well, your late wife was very much involved.
Oh, yes, but I neither have the time nor the inclination to get involved in politics, Judge.
Well, maybe you'll change your mind when you hear what I'm proposing. Dave, I represent a very small but influential group of personal and professional friends who believe that the best interest of Kingsley will not be served by the election of either Lee Carruthers or Hugh Wainwright. Would you agree with that?
Well, no argument there. I've had the dubious fortune of seeing both of those gentlemen behind the Republic facade.
And so have some of us. And that's why we want you to represent us in Washington.
I really don't see why you're so upset. Beverly Randolph wasn't one of your patients. You have nothing to worry about.
Vanessa, I have really tried to put this whole thing out of my mind, pretend it never happened. But I can't do that anymore.
What? You've developed a conscience. Will wonders never cease?
Well, here's another wonder for you. The police are going to be suspicious, especially when they link Mrs. Randolph to the Bedford.
Oh, well, suppose that does happen. You don't have to worry about your reputation.
But what about those women?
Now you care? I think it's a little too late for that now, don't you? Brian, you can't do anything about Mrs. Randolph or the others, so why don't you just put the whole thing out of your mind? Be happy. I am. I've achieved my goals. I want you to be happy, too.
Then you make good on your promise.
Promise?
You told me that you wanted to get one more large donation and then you'd leave Kingsley. I expect you to keep your word.
Leave?
Yes.
But, darling, how could I bear to be separated from you? Really, you don't expect me to leave town like some hunted criminal, do you?
Oh, maybe you're not being hunted now. But if you continue this little plan of yours to bilk rich women and then...
Huh? Why don't you finish?
Because the very thought makes me sick. It goes against everything that I believe in as a doctor.
Brian, what you are accusing me of is quite heinous, but the fact is you have no proof.
Proof?
Yes. Need I remind you that you have no concrete evidence that Beverly Randolph was even connected with Domi? You certainly have nothing to prove that I had anything whatsoever to do with her death.
If it's proof I need, then I'll get it.
Don't do anything foolish, darling. You might regret it later. Don't forget your 3 patients who committed suicide.
Vanessa, you made a promise.
When I mentioned leaving Kingsley before, that was because Jean Redlin was concentrating on investigating on me, and I was concerned about it. But that's all over now. I just let my worrying get the better of me. Redlin's been silenced, and now I can continue with my work. Don't look so serious. So unlike you.
That's amazing. You can just shrug this whole thing off, can't you?
It's all part of being a good Tomite.
Oh, yeah. Like Mrs. Randolph.
I don't intend discussing her any further. As a matter of fact, I think it would be an excellent idea if you left now.
Look, this project is important to a lot of people, and we cannot afford to antagonize any of those people down there in Chesterfield. You got that? Good. Call me this afternoon and let me know how you handled it. Right, bye.
What was that all about?
I didn't see you come in.
I saw you on the phone, didn't want to disturb you. Employee problems?
Yeah, it's the foreman on the CTE project. He's got a hot temper, but he's a good man. And he's finding out that some of the people in Chesterfield don't really appreciate what we're doing down there.
Some people don't like change, no matter what it is. Change makes life exciting.
Well, you've had plenty of excitement in your life lately, haven't you? How did you and Courtney keep from scratching each other's eyes out?
That was touch and go for a while. You should have stuck around.
The referee? No thanks.
Nothing really happened. But, I'd say I came out on top.
I believe that.
Thanks.
So, is it true?
What?
What you testified to in court, that you're pregnant.
Would you be shocked if I said it was?
I was shocked to find out in the Castaway Bar.
But you want to know if it's really true. Yeah, Gil, it's true. I'm pregnant.
Walter, if you came here to confuse me, let me say that you have done a very good job.
Stacy, I fired you the way I did in front of everyone so it would look real.
But it wasn't, Stacy.
Then why didn't you tell me?
Because I didn't think there was any other way we could pull it off.
And you agreed to this?
No, Stacy, I didn't know what he was up to until he laid into you the way he did in the office.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if you were hurt, Stacy.
Hurt? Mr. McGovern, you humiliated me in front of all the people I work with. Now, was that necessary?
Well, all things considered, yes, I think it was necessary. And I'm sorry we had to put you through it, but when you hear the plan, I think you'll agree that it was worth it.
Well, you are going to have to be a very good salesman, because I am still just a little bit upset.
Stacy, listen. He's asking you to continue the Domi investigation.
But why?
Because we don't want the whole office to know that we have reopened the investigation of Domi and Vanessa Faison. Besides, we have reason to believe that another one of her followers has committed suicide.
You mean that woman in yesterday's paper?
Beverly Randolph, yes. She fits the personality profile to a T.
And you know for a fact that she was involved in Domi?
Well, no, not yet.
You are just speculating.
Stacy, call it gut instinct. I know this woman was involved in Domi. Now, what we need to do now is get the facts, and that's where you come in. We need you to work yourself up to the top of Domi with money the way I try to do. You can tell this Vanessa Faison that your mother left you the big bulk of the inheritance, and that should get you private sessions.
She'll know I work for the Chronicle.
Stacy, that's why I fired you, so it would look real. And when this Faison woman starts asking questions, she'll get the right answers.
Listen, Stacy, tell the woman that you got into a lot of arguments with me over Domi because you sided with Domi.
I don't know, Jean. I don't think she'll buy that.
Well, sure she will, especially after she looks over your application.
Oh, now I get it. You think she'll gladly accept someone with a history of instability.
Oh, Stacy, come on, it's not that. Look, you've got to admit that that's exactly the kind of personality that she goes for.
Yes, especially if money is involved. Stacy, now come on, you're going to have to consider this. Look, we're not going to have to make a false identity or a false personal history. That's all taken care of.
Oh, yeah, because you have a ready-made emotional frisbee to toss around.
Stacy, that was all in the past. Besides, you don't think I'd send you out on an assignment that I didn't think you could handle, do you?
There is a risk, Stacy. But think about all of the people that you're going to be helping when you expose this Domi for what it really is, a big fraud.
Yeah, to say nothing of the great story you're going to be able to write in the first person.
Yeah.
It might even make the wire services, huh? You think about it, all right?
I will.
Yeah, good. I got to get back to the paper now. Jean?
Yeah.
Jean, you've got to talk to her. Convince her this is the greatest thing that's ever come her way.
Walter, I will try to do the best that I can.
Yeah, well, I'll see you.
So, is that why you're not dressed for tennis? Because I'm pregnant?
No, I just got involved with all of this, and, well, to tell you the truth, the thought did cross my mind.
Uh-huh. Well, you don't have to worry. I'm still in my first trimester. I can pretty much do anything I want.
Which is what you've always done anyway, right?
Oh, yeah. So, are we going to the courts or what?
I really can't, Tina. I've just got too much to do today.
All right. Well, maybe some other time then. Okay. I'll see you.
Well, wait, hey, I've got a minute.
So?
So, let's talk.
About what?
You know.
What else? All right, Gil, what do you want to know? You want dates, places?
No, wait a minute.
Well, you want to know everything, right?
No, wait a second, Tina. You don't have to tell me anything that you don't want to. But if I can help...
You mean like a shoulder to cry on?
Do you need one?
The only shoulder I need right now is Vaughn's.
So he is the father of the baby, then?
Yes, of course. Who else?
What does he intend to do about it?
I don't know yet.
You mean you haven't talked to him about it?
Not since the annulment.
I don't understand.
Look, Vaughn's had a lot on his mind with the annulment and all. I just thought I'd wait.
But that's already over with.
Yeah, and he and Courtney are still married.
Does that mean he won't take responsibility for the child?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. At this point, I don't really know what he's gonna do.
Look, I want to tell you something. I care for you, and I care about what happens to you. Now, if I can be of any help, and if Vaughn doesn't come through the way he's supposed to, you just let me know and I'll go talk to him. I've had some experience with this sort of thing. It happened to me before. So I know that these things can happen. So if there's any way that I can help, I want to.
You really mean that, don't you?
Gina, I don't know if I'm up to this. I mean, it really wasn't all that long ago that I was released from the mental hospital.
But, Stacy, you're doing fine.
Jean, what you and McGovern are asking, I don't know if I want to take that chance.
Listen, if you're afraid of losing your mind, You don't have to worry about that.
You don't know that. You can't guarantee that. No one can.
That's true, yes. There is no guarantee. But Stacy, if you want my honest opinion, I think you're more than qualified to handle this job.
Wish I agreed with you. I'm doing okay now, I know that, but getting involved in Domi, Jean, you know what that's like, the kind of people it attracts. I don't want to be involved in people who are living in turmoil. I know what that's like from being in the hospital. There are so many hurting, confused, lonely people. And a lot of them are attracted to something like Domi. Why should I subject myself to that?
Stacy, listen. All I can say is that you're up to the job. True, you've had a lot of trouble and stuff in the past, but you have faced up to your problems and you've worked right through them. Lady, listen, you're a lot stronger than you think you are, Stacy. Come on.
Maybe, but Wait. I have an idea. Why don't I speak to my doctor at the hospital about it? Wouldn't that be a good idea? Jean!
Stacy, listen. The fewer people that know about what we plan to do, the better. Now, right now, there's only 3 of us. Now, I'm not going to tell Carla anything, and I think it would be... Just look at the way your life has been since you've come back to Kingsley. Now, you've had all the trouble with Russ and Gil, and you handled that well. You didn't break then, and you're not going to break now. Besides, think of all of the people that you're going to be helping when you expose this Domi for what it really is. Stacy, I'm telling you that this Vanessa Faison, she makes her living by talking to people who are crying for help and people who feel like they're drowning. The lady talks real smooth to them while she's tying an anchor around their feet, and then she laughs when they plunge to the bottom. Wouldn't you like to stop that, Stacy? You can.
Chet Sawyer, would you mind saying that again?
Gladly. I said that a group of us believe that what this congressional district needs is a man who believes in the people he represents. And we think that you are the perfect candidate.
And you want me to run for Congress?
Yes. We think that you are the best man.
But I've never had any political experience beyond what I told you. I've never even run for office before.
Dave, what concerns us is that the people of Kingsley elect someone that will have their best interest at heart. And you and I both know that neither Lee Carruthers or Hugh Wainwright fits that bill.
But I thought you were a member of Wainwright's party.
Yes, I was, and I campaigned for his last election, but I have recently received some information that proves to me and to others that Wainwright is nothing more than a hypocrite, and that it is quite clear he has very little interest in all the people of Kingsley. Do you know that this man is thinking about using his influence to bring a professional football team to Kingsley? Now, the only group that's going to benefit from that are his major campaign contributors.
Yes, my daughter Stacy wrote an article about that.
Yes, and many important people read that article. But the concern over Wainwright happened before that even appeared.
But why me? Why not someone else?
Quite frankly, because we think that you are the only one in the party strong enough to buck Wainwright.
Yes, but then I don't see how...
Listen, you would run as an independent. Now, you would be the only honest alternative to Wainwright and Carruthers. You'd provide the only choice that exists. As it is now, Wainwright is going to be a virtual shoe-in. But if you decide to run, we believe that we're going to be able to stop him.
I don't know what to say. I'm flattered, certainly, but I don't see how I can run.
If you're worried about financial backing, don't. We can start the ball rolling almost immediately.
No, it isn't that. It's my work here.
Dave, I'm sure something could be worked out.
I wonder what Lee Carruthers would say if I decide to run.
Oddly enough, he was the one who brought up your name.
He did?
Oh, yes. He made some kind of offhand statement about being glad that he wasn't running against a man like you, someone whose actions matched his beliefs.
Well, I still don't know what to say.
Say at least that you'll think about it, Dave.
Well, all right, I will. I'll think about it.
Good. And Dave, I'm sure you're going to make the right decision.
So you'll let me know if you need my help, right?
Yeah, sure.
And if Vaughn needs any convincing about what he's supposed to do, I'll go talk to him.
I will.
And I want you to eat what you're supposed to and do what the doctor says.
Yes, Mother.
No, I mean it now. I want you to take care of yourself and do the right things for you and the baby. Okay?
Gil, you know something? You're something else. Bye.
Get out of here.
And you really think that I can handle it?
I know you can, Stacy. You would be able to write this story from a perspective that I don't have. With what you've been through, you would be able to do a different kind of expose, you know, from someone who was once vulnerable themselves, someone who needed personal guidance. Stacy, I'm telling you, you would be able to write this story with a tenderness and a compassion that I just don't have.
And you really believe that?
I do, yeah.
All right, Jean. Tell McGovern I'll take over the Domi story.
All right, good. Now remember, no one else is to know. As far as they're concerned, you are fired. Got it?
Got it.
Good.